Okay, so I got the Civic all masked off, about as good as I want to anyway. So this is basically just to keep the paint stripper off of the body of the car. Not that the body's perfect anyway. If I got some on there, it probably wouldn't be a big deal, but for this purpose, I just want to focus on the roof. So I'm going to start spraying the paint stripper, and then we'll let it sit and see what happens. Okay, so here's where we're at right now. I ended up having to paint some rust on the edges here because you probably noticed before when I pulled the tape off that it pulled a lot of the clear coat with it. So I thought I could cover it up with some overspray, but it didn't end up covering it up as much as I wanted it to, so I had to improvise. So what I did is I kind of went along all the edges here with sandpaper, which roughed it up quite a bit, and then I took some candy orange with a paintbrush and just went over those areas, which now kind of makes it look like rust. It's not really the look I wanted, but it'll do for now. I'm hoping it grows on me. So now the next step is going to be airbrushing some rivets on there, and then it'll pretty much be done. Okay, so I've been doing a lot of practice trying to get my rivets right. Normally what I would do is I would start with a brighter background and then just go in with the black and do my shading that way with a stencil. But since I had to make it so dark already to cover up those tape marks, I'm starting off with a darker surface than I would like to. So I've just been trying a couple different methods here to get the rivets right. So with these ones here, the brighter ones anyway, I started off with a silver base with a stencil, and then I just shaded in around it. And I really like the way that they turned out, but it's going to be really tough to try and get that done on the car because all I have is spray paint and it's such a small stencil. It's very difficult to get it right. So then I moved on to these ones here where I had the white in the airbrush, so I airbrushed white ahead of time so that I had a white base, and then I went in with the black afterwards. I don't think they look too bad, and this is going to be the easiest way to get the look that I want, so I think that's the method that I'm going to use. Alright, I've changed my mind again, which is something I tend to do a lot. I tried a couple of different methods of trying to get the silver on there without getting so much overspray with the spray can. So I sprayed it into the lid here, and I was going to use this paintbrush, so I tried that. The brush bristles were actually getting underneath the stencil, so I wasn't getting a perfect circle that way either. So I'm actually going to just spray directly into the lid and then dump that into my airbrush and try just airbrushing with that and see if I get the effect that I want. Okay, so done with the silver now. It ended up working out really well. So I'm really happy with the way that these turned out. So it's a nice clean line. It doesn't look like it's fogged in or anything like that. So next is going to be moving on to the black. So I'm going to give my airbrush a really good clean to get all that spray paint out of there. And then we'll get to the shadowing. Okay, so all the airbrushing is done. Now it's time to lay some clear on it. I'm definitely going to use something different than what I used before, seeing as the tape peeled all of it off. So the only thing I could really think of was using clear Plastidip, and I didn't want a gloss finish, I wanted a matte finish on it. So to me that was probably the most durable clear that I could find that would give me a matte finish. So we'll lay that down and then we are done.